Here's why you cannot heal your own mommy issues. Now, I have been doing this work of guiding my clients through the process of accelerated inner healing since 2018. I've helped over 200 women transform their relationship with themselves, with men, and with money. And at the core and crux of what we do is going right down a strategic deep dive into their childhood, into that relationship with their father and their mother. Why? Because how you experienced your parents' presence or absence during childhood had the biggest impact on who you are today as a woman. What you believe you're allowed to do, who you're allowed to be, what you're allowed to have. All of it wrote on the slate of who you are. It created the programming that's running on your brain right now. If you think about your brain as a computer, it's the programming that's running, your beliefs that are telling you all of that. Now, every single client that I've worked with, her biggest hurdle has not been working through her daddy issues. It has always been the relationship with her mother. And why is that? Because as women, our mother, our identity is wrapped up in our mother, whether she was there or not. Because if she wasn't there, then what we said to ourselves was, well, if my own mother who carried me in her body for 9 months didn't love me enough to be there for me, then who else would? Or if she would leave me, then I can't trust that anybody would want to stay. Okay? Or if your mother was overly critical, then you might sit down and try to binge Netflix and start feeling guilty or feeling like you're not being productive enough. You're not doing enough because you're not allowed to sit still. Okay, so how you define being a woman, good or bad, is according to her example. If she was an awful mother, you'll look at her and say, I'll never be like her. You're still gauging yourself by her. If she was a wonderful mother, you'll say, wow, I could never live up to that. Again, still gauging yourself by her. And so you will see a lot of people talk about how, oh, well, my mom, she couldn't do this, she couldn't do that. And I understand life was like this for her. And when my clients do this, I always remind them, you're still talking about your mother. See, healing your mommy issues has nothing to do with your mother. It has to do with you acknowledging the truth of how you experienced her. It 100% has everything to do with you and you giving yourself permission to be honest about that experience, because whether she was good, bad, and different, she wasn't perfect. And it's not about judging her for what she did or didn't do. It's not about her at all. It's about the little girl version of you that was hurt most oftentimes inadvertently by her words, her actions, or the things that she told you, the beliefs that she instilled in you that have not helped you, that have not served you, or are no longer serving you. There are so many things that our mothers tell us in an effort to protect us that don't serve us anymore when we get to a certain level in life. But what women will do is focus all their energy on finding all the reasons why I can give my mom grace. I forgive my mom, blah, blah, blah. Great. Wonderful. Has nothing to do with you healing your mommy issues. Has no effect on your ability to improve your relationships with men, money, success, whatever. Forgiving your mother has nothing to do with you healing your mommy issues. Ooh, let me say that again. Rewind it back. Forgiving your mother has nothing to do with you healing your mommy issues. They are two separate things. Okay? Your mommy issues result from how you experienced her presence or her absence during childhood. The beliefs or the programs that were instilled in your brain through her example or the things that she said or did not do or did not say. That. Okay? And everybody, every human being on the planet has experienced trauma, because all trauma means is a painful experience. And none of us have had perfect parents. And so we have all been inadvertently or unintentionally hurt by them in some way, shape, or form. Our parents couldn't give us what they didn't have. And many of us have exceeded or succeeded them in so many ways. And so you may find yourself at this place to where, I don't have an example to follow. I'm hitting this upper limit. Why do I feel like I don't deserve this? Why does this feel like I'm just going to sabotage this? Whatever the feelings are. The point is it's rooted in childhood, okay? But what women will tend to do, what I have seen my clients do, is waste all their time trying to excuse, explain, and forgive their mother's behavior rather than focusing on the reality and the truth of the process, which is healing yourself. It's about you. It's about the little girl who didn't have the adult context of the things that were happening around her. It's about the little girl who didn't understand that she doesn't have to grow up and settle for a good man that's also broke, that he can have money and be good at the same time, because that's what her mother did. Okay. All right. Or the little girl who watched her mother be a single parent and struggle financially, who grew up and said, I'm not going to never be like that. I'm not going to be left in the lurch. And who, even though she has money and a wonderful husband, still doesn't feel safe. That has nothing to do with your mother. That has to do with that little girl who went through that experience and who told herself some things about life, about men, about relationships, about money. From those experiences, from the things that her mother said, from the things that she watched her mother do. That little girl is the one that needs healing. And in order to acknowledge her experience and her feelings, you have to be willing to give yourself permission to acknowledge some very negative things about your mother. And again, it's not a judgment against her. It's not about her. Never should you ever have a conversation with her about any of those things, because again, it's about you. This isn't about you trying to help her heal. This isn't about you trying to help fix your relationship. This is about you fixing your relationship with yourself. And your identity as a woman is wrapped up in your mother, because she was your living, breathing, day in, day out, an example of what it meant to be a woman. Good, bad, whatever. And so the reason why you cannot heal your mommy issues on your own is because you cannot see your own blind spots, and you cannot go into the deepest, darkest depths of yourself, that your brain perceives that there is pain there, or you're unwilling to release an idea that you need to believe about her, that, oh, life was great, life was perfect, whatever like that. And life could have been good, but like I said, it's not about her. And it's not about, you don't have to be left on the side of the road to have experienced childhood trauma. It's just a painful experience. It's just the unintentional, inadvertent things that our parents say, the beliefs they instill in us about relationships, money, and all the things that now that you have reached a level to where you're trying to elevate, you can't, because those beliefs are limiting you and holding you back and telling you you can't do that because X, Y, and Z is true. And that's it. So you need someone to guide you through the process. You need someone to help you move past those blind spots and to move past the resistance, okay? Because your brain and your mind loves to play tricks on you and keep you at status quo, exactly where you are. But the work is always deeper, not wider. It is always back to childhood, back to mom and dad. That's where we go. And like I said, it's not to blame. It's not to talk about it to death. It is a strategic deep dive to identify the beliefs that came from that relationship, acknowledge the story and the emotions, release it so that you can create the space for something new to be input. And let me tell you this, 100% of my clients that have been through this process with me, okay, have not only healed their daddy issues and their mommy issues, but as a side effect, yes, it has improved their relationship with their parents. Do you know why? And even specifically their mothers. Do you know why? Because they begin to see her for who she is and accept her as that, and no longer look at her as the version that they needed her to be in their minds, or look to her as, I need her to be this way or to do this thing so that I can heal. They understand that their healing journey is their own, her healing journey is her own, and they are at peace with that. So if you're serious about healing your mommy issues, you've got to stop doing all this talking and journaling, and you actually need someone to help you. And I'm not talking about going therapy, because that is sitting around talking about it, okay? It's a strategic deep dive, accelerated inner healing. That is what I do. We get to the bottom of it so you can get rid of it and get on with the business of being successful, happy, healed, and whole.